Phnom Penh, the royal capital city of Cambodia, were the central of economics, culture, trading, with around 2 million people living in this city. The story begins in 1372. Near four-fronted river's shore, lived an old lady, named Penh. One day, there was a heavy rain, and the river flooded everywhere. Grandma Penh went down to riverbank, and suddenly, saw a big Korki tree, floating towards the riverbank. The tree was floating still, because of the confronting tides. Seeing this, Grandma Penh ran to call her neighbors to help pull the tree out. The neighbors tied the tree with a rope, and pulled it, until it reached the top of the riverbank. When Grandma Penh cleaned the mud from the tree with a wood bar, she saw 4 bronze statues of Buddha, in the hole in the tree, while another, made of stone, was in a standing posture with hair made in a band, and one hand holding a stick and the other holding a snail shell. Grandma Penh, and the neighbors, were so happy to have found these sacred objects. They then paraded those statues to Grandma Penh's home. Grandma Penh managed to have a small hut to store the statues and temporarily. Later on, Grandma Penh called for help from the neighbors to mound the hill to the west of her house to make it a real mountain. Then she had the Korki tree sawn, so it could be used as pillars of the shrine. She planned to build on that mountain. In 1372, Grandma Penh and her neighbors decided to build a temple on that mountain and take 4 Buddha statues to place in the temple. When the shrine construction was completed, she invited monks to stay at the mountain foot to the west, in what was called Wat Phnom Penh, which has been shortened to Wat Phnom, up to the present. Phnom Penh first became the capital of Cambodia after Ponhiayat, king of the Khmer Empire, moved the capital from Angkor Thom after it was captured and destroyed by Siam a few years earlier. Unfortunately, Phnom Penh remained the royal capital for 73 years from 1432 to 1505. It was abandoned for 360 years from 1505 to 1865 by subsequent kings due to internal fighting between the royal pretenders. It was not until 1865 that Phnom Penh became the permanent royal capital of Cambodia, when King Norodom I ordered 10,000 of his subjects to move out of the old royal capital of Ao Dong, and settle back into Phnom Penh. It was then, in 1866 that the current royal palace was built. From 1866 the city continued growing constantly. In French colonial period, Phnom Penh was modernized with both Western style and traditional style. The city continued growing. In 1975, with the fall of the Khmer Republic regime, the Khmer Rouge took over Phnom Penh, and ordered the population to evacuate. and the city was abandoned again. Finally in 1979, the city was liberated by Vietnamese and Khmer United Front for National Salvation Armies. Nowadays, Phnom Penh is the largest city in Cambodia, which has about 2 million people living there. There are many interesting buildings that most of them are in both traditional and Western architecture. Every national ceremony is celebrated in this city every year, such as Water Festival, Independence Day. Phnom Penh, the heart of Cambodia,